Talk Live, episode 20. Thank you for joining us on this Friday evening. Me and Troy are back with you yet again, and tonight we're going to talk about the Terrifier franchise, 1 through 3. They're working on part 4. Troy just watched 2 and 3. We watched them together last Saturday night. We did a double feature on the exploits of Art the Clown. So Troy's all caught up now. He's been bugging me for this, to watch these for, about a year? Well, maybe a little less than a year.
Maybe a little more.
A little more, maybe. I don't know. Let me know in the chat if everybody out there is caught up on the Terrifier franchise and what your thoughts are. What's your favorite one? What's your favorite kill? Let me know all that as we go through this. We're going to go through three movies. We've never done 3 movies on one of these streams. Hey, Kurt, how you doing?
Hi, Kurt.
Kathy, Landon, if you're present, whoever is about. Yeah, so I was hesitant on showing Troy the Terrifier franchise. If you've seen him, you know why. You know why. But we ripped the Band-Aid off. We're going to Halloween Horror Nights next month down in Orlando, and they're having a Terrifier haunted house. So my wife and I had figured, let's just go for it. So we did.
When we were watching it during 3, she came in and was like, "I never said you could let him watch it."
Well, there's some I don't know. Oh, Landon's gaming with his friends. Well, it's Friday night, Kurt. What are you going to do? Anyway, I hope you're all doing well out there. It's Friday, so I hope you all have a great weekend. Before we get started here, we're going to actually go see Nobody 2 tomorrow. I'm excited about that. I love the original Nobody, and I'm excited for the sequel. It looks like National Lampoon's R-rated action movie, and I am here for it. And we're going tomorrow around 4:20. That's not a pot joke. That's just when we're going. Troy was supposed to have a soccer game tomorrow, but it got canceled because we've had an ungodly amount of rain down here, and the fields are a mess. So no soccer tomorrow, but we're going to get some stuff done around the house, get some grass cut. We got to get some painting done for our Halloween decorations. Yes, we're prepping for Halloween. Don't judge me. Because September we start decorating because it takes us, about 3.5 weeks to get it done. Plus we're going away for a week. So we are into the spooky season, pretty much, the Rummel household, because we have to prepare.
There are no decorations besides a pumpkin right there.
Yeah, we got a pumpkin over here. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. I think I'm blocking it with my big head, but yes, we got to start prepping because I'm redesigning my whole front yard this year. So there's some work to be done. So Troy's going to help me do some painting tomorrow, right?
Are we bringing anything over?
No, but we're going to paint the stuff we have here. I got to get the stuff painted. That's a very important aspect of our Halloween display. We're going to use 2 of those pools. I might as well go for the gold since I have 3 pumps, so what the hell. Anyway, what we've been up to since the last time we've been together. Troy went to Miami to see the Yankees play the Marlins, and how was that?
They lost.
But it was still fun, right? The dome was cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was hot as hell down there. And Troy got stung by a jellyfish.
Oh.
Not once, but twice.
What do you mean twice?
I thought you got stung twice.
No.
Mommy told me you got stung twice.
Weird.
He doesn't even remember.
No, it was only one.
Maybe it was only one. Oh, that was me that got stung twice the time we went to Hilton Head. God damn it. It was me. Yeah, he got stung by a jellyfish and then proceeded not to go back in the ocean, which I don't blame him. I won't want to go back in either after getting stung by one of those bastards. But they had a good time. And while they were away, me and Dale _A from the Bat and Spider podcast had an all-day movie marathon. We started at 9:30 in the morning, Saturday morning, and went to 1:30 Sunday morning. Yeah. And I can't remember what the hell we watched. We watched Police Academy. We watched The Last Boy Scout, Lethal Weapon. We watched They Live, The Rock, Terrifier 2, Lake Placid, and there's something else I'm forgetting because my memory is not as good. I can't remember what the other one was, but there was another movie in there. But we watched 8 movies total. Oh, The Burbs. We watched The Burbs, which I absolutely love The Burbs. It was a good day. And also, since last time we saw each other or been together, I saw the new I Don't You did last summer. And it was okay. I didn't love it, didn't hate it. It was just meh. It's serviceable.
Would you buy it?
No, I saw it in the theaters. It's not out to buy yet.
Like, would you when it comes
I don't
out?
think I'd buy it unless it was dirt cheap. If it was dirt cheap, I'd probably purchase it, but it wasn't that good.
Not even on Blu-ray.
But yeah, so that's what pretty much we've been up to because we watched the Terrifier films last week, and we're going to the movies tomorrow to see Nobody 2. And we're going to see Jaws back in theaters Labor Day weekend. You and I are going to go Sunday because Mommy's going to sleep. She has to work that night. So we're going to go Sunday and IMAX. Can't wait to see Jaws on the big screen. And might as well do it in IMAX. What the hell, right? So since we got 3 movies and next month's my pick, I'll announce what next month's movie's going to be. Took me a little bit. I didn't have it planned out for some reason. I kind of brain farted
he was
it.
Staring at movies until the beginning.
I was literally staring at movies until like 3 minutes before we were going live. So Troy's like, you got to pick a movie now. God damn it, pick one. He didn't say God damn it, but he said pick one, and I picked one. So I'll reveal that in the waning moments of this live broadcast. Let me know in the chat what you guys had planned this weekend. Hopefully you have some fun stuff going on, even house stuff. It's not fun, but it's stuff. I hope you all have a great weekend. Hopefully the weather's great wherever you're at. Do me a favor, hit the like, comment, and subscribe button if you're not already. I'd appreciate that as well. So let's get into Terrifier 1. I have it up right over here, my shoulder. I have all 3 on physical media. The first one I only have on Blu-ray. The other 2 I have on 4K. Now, I was late to the Terrifier craze, I guess, as you would say. I didn't see the first one or the second one until right before the third one came out last year. My good friend Charlie saw them. He recommended them to me, and I kind of just didn't watch them. I don't know. I didn't nothing against them. I didn't know anything about them really. I just knew they were becoming more and more popular especially in the horror community. And then finally last summer, since I knew the third one was coming out and it looked good, I decided to buy the first one and the second one, and I watched them, and I saw the third one in the theaters opening weekend, and now I'm a Terrifier fan like a lot of you folks out there. Now, the first one, Art the Clown had appeared before the first film in an anthology film that Damien Leone had written and directed called All Hallows Eve, and a short that he filmed before that called The Ninth Circle. So Art the Clown had appeared before. He was played by somebody different. In this film, we got the actor playing Art that would play him in all the films thus far, plus in the fourth film. And we'll talk about the cast in a second. Now, this was written and directed by Damien Leone. This came out March 27th of 2016, so it's been a while. Released unrated like the next 2 we're going to talk about. It's an hour and 25 minutes long, which is definitely a strength of this film, considering there's not a whole lot of story here, and we'll expand on what I mean by that. In the film, the main couple people that are in it, Jenna Cannell plays Tara. She's our main final girl, kind of. Samantha Scadidi, I don't know how you say her name, plays Victoria. And then David Howard Thornton came in to play Art the Clown for this film. The guy who played him before this retired from acting, and Damien Leone was looking for somebody to play Art, and David Howard Thornton got casted. He used to be a mime, and you could tell the way he moves. I mean, Art doesn't talk. That's what kind of separates him from Pennywise, and Damien Leone has said he tried to differentiate Art from Pennywise. Like, he sucked all the color out of him. He's just black and white outfit and makeup, and Art doesn't talk, which is, as we know, is a little bit different than what Pennywise is. Pennywise eggs people on and tries to get a reaction out of them, tries to frighten them, where Art is just doing it through movement and the way he acts. So there is the difference there between the clowns. Now, this movie is very simple, and really watching this for the first time, I liked it more the second and third time I watched it. The first time, it almost looked like a prototype movie to prove that they could make a movie, and this is what it could be if we expanded on it. Because there's not a whole lot of story here. We basically got 2 girls, Tara and her friend, walking pretty much to this pizza parlor on Halloween night. They just left a Halloween party, and they Art the Clown follows them. He just kind of happens upon them, and he becomes infatuated with them, and he follows them into this pizza place. And if you've seen this movie, and Troy just saw it for the first time recently, that's what sets the whole thing off. And Art just starts killing people in his way to get to these two girls, And well, let's talk about it. We might as well talk about the elephant in the room. The one kill I was worried about letting him watch this for, and when it happened on screen, Troy looked at me and goes, "Is that the kill you were worried about?" I'm like, "Yes." So let's talk about it. The kill with the girl upside down naked that he hacksaws through. When you first saw it, what was your thoughts on that?
I was like, I was questioning if I was just watching the movie or as I was imagining it.
It was a fever dream. That was the one kill I was concerned about. I mean, I know he fillets somebody and Art wears the skin around of the one girl. And but I was worried about the upside down hacksaw from basically groin to sternum kill, because when I first saw this, I was like, I mean, I've seen Cannibal Holocaust, I've seen some of the, some of the most gruesome stuff out there. It's available, and even I was taken back. I'm like, holy Christ, look at that! It's a cool effect, and Damien Leone did all the makeup effects for the original film because they didn't have much of a crew. It was such a low budget production, and they made this film for like $35,000 to $50,000. And upon release, it made $421,000, so it made money. But I was surprised by that kill, and when Troy wanted to see it, that was the one, probably the main kill that I was hesitant about, because Troy's about a little over a year into your horror journey now, maybe 2 years, but we started off a little slow. Yeah. So I didn't see Cannibal Holocaust till I was an adult. I started watching horror when I was 6 or 7, but I didn't see like the heavies until I was an adult. But we made it through. I think Troy feels a little bit different about life after watching all 3. But so, yeah, we get that kill, which is probably the centerpiece of the movie. I mean, there's other gory kills for sure, but that is probably the centerpiece of the film. And that and what Art does to Victoria, and obviously what Victoria does to that reporter at the end of the film. Because she'll end up being in the second film as well, and even into the third film. She carries over. So
in the fourth.
Well, I don't know. Let's wait and see. You know what I'm saying? But this movie is more just meat and potatoes slasher film. There's not much of a story here. It's just basically these 2 girls that run afoul of this guy dressed as a clown, which we find out that he's not just a guy. Obviously, Art, there's something more going on with Art. He's supernatural, or he's a demon from another dimension. I don't know what he is yet. I don't think nobody quite knows. I mean, Damien Leone knows. He said he's going to give more answers to Art in the 4th film, which I'm looking forward to getting.
Do we know how long the new one's going to wait the 4th?
It's not done filming it, so no. Nope. We don't know. Hi, Kathy. How are you?
Hi.
And then we get that final kill with the coroner, where Art beats the shit out of the coroner, and when he comes back to life after we think he might be dead, and he's not. And that's pretty much the end of the first Terrifier. I'm going to ask Troy. I'm going to throw it to Troy before we get into some trivia and talk some more about this. But what was your thoughts upon after the movie ended? What did you think of the film overall?
Well, it's going to sound weird. I thought there was going to be more gore. It kind of just went by really fast.
Well, it's only an hour and 25 minutes, so it's a pretty quick watch. It's kind of like Texas Chainsaw in that regard, where it's just, it's a bullet train. You're just, it's off, sets it up a little bit, and you're off. And you were a little bit, you thought that weird lady in the apartment building was a little off. It was talking to the dolls and saying it was her kid.
I knew something. There's no way she would have been alive.
That Troy didn't like that lady. He was like, "This lady's just weird. Why is she on screen?" Well, she was getting rid of. That's the one he skinned and wore her skin. Remember? What are out there? What are your thoughts on this? The first film. I watching it the second time, I liked it a little bit more. The first time, it's not that I didn't like it. It was just, and really a lot of the '80s slashers. Well, there's still more story in some of the '80s slashers, but there's not a whole lot here. And even Damien Leone says he regrets not giving some more backstory to the final girls, or injecting a little bit more story in there. He said, he even admitted he was worried to get on to the kills. That was what he was concerned with, showing what Art can do. And it is kind of like a show reel for what Art can be as a killer. And with the second and third one, and as they expand the universe and we get better characters, nothing against the actresses here, it's not their fault. The script wasn't designed to give them any characterization, really. We get to know very little about them before they start getting chased by Art, and it's just, once he starts chasing them, it's off to the races. I mean, the movie doesn't really stop for anything after that. It's just like a freight train out of control until the very end. So there's really not much here to talk about story-wise. It's just really a meat and potatoes. We got a guy killing some folks in really gory ways, and we're showcasing what the practical effects could be or look like on a low budget. And they do look pretty good. I mean, the effects come off pretty well, considering there wasn't a lot of money, and Damon Leone did it all himself. The Craven Halloween store that you heard our advertisement for on the radio when you're in the car was obviously a nod to Wes Craven. And the jack-o'-lantern, I didn't know this, and I didn't catch on. Usually I could spot CGI, but I didn't notice this. This jack-o'-lantern in the pizza parlor was added in post-production. It's actually a CGI effect.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Damon Leone said, since it was set on Halloween night, he wanted to put something in there to go with Halloween, so he added a jack-o'-lantern.
That looked really good.
It did. Really didn't. Next time I watch it, I'm gonna have to really pay attention to that jack-o'-lantern. But it was put in.
You're gonna pause it and be like,
Well, I thought it was, considering the budget, that was a pretty well done effect, because I didn't notice it was CGI, but it was definitely put in post production. He said. At the end of the day, I mean, there's not a whole lot to talk about with this film. I do like it as it's just a straight ahead horror movie. So the first Terrifier, I would give a 7 out of 10. Now I'm gonna let Troy give you his rating, and first, before you give me a rating, what's your favorite kill? Which obviously I'm guessing I know which one that is. But what's your favorite kill of the first film?
Maybe the one in the pizza parlor.
Oh, where he kills the pizza dude?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was different. That's different than I thought. I thought you were going to go with the hacksaw upside down bisection kill. Okay. I gave it a 7 out of 10. Out there, please let me know in the chat what you would give this out of 10 or out of 5 stars, whatever the first one, if you remember it. I don't know when the last time some of you all watched it, but what would you give Terrifier Part 1 for a rating?
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. You liked it that much, huh? All right, 8 out of 10 for Terrifier 1 from Troy. 7 out of 10 for Terrifier 1 from me. And now we are on to Terrifier 2. I got this one on 4K. With the success and fan notoriety of Terrifier 1, Damon Leone crowdfunded money for the next film. Agree with the... All right, Kurt, we are on the same wavelength. Definitely. The second one had more money, and if you watched the film, you could tell they had more money. And they crowdfunded a bunch of money. They came up a little short. No, I think they did crowdfund enough money. The fans came in clutch, and they were able to raise $250,000 for the second film, which is a significant increase over the original film. Once again, Damon Leone wrote and directed this film, as he does the third one as well. This one came out October 6th of 2022. It came out unrated like the first film and the third film that we're going to talk about after this one. And it's 2 hours and 18 minutes long. And that might be one of my issues with this film. We'll get into that. And upon release that October, this is what kicked off the Terrifier craze. It made 10.9 in America and 15.8 worldwide. So on a $250,000 budget, and this was all independently made. There was no studios involved. So they really didn't spend a whole lot of money on advertising. This was a very successful independent horror movie. And that's what led us to part 3. But let's get into part 2. Now, with part 2 and more money and more ambition this time around, in terms of giving us more characters that we could really sink our teeth into, and we definitely get that here with our new final girl. Lauren Lavera plays Sienna, and Elliot Fulham plays Jonathan, her brother, and David Howard Thornton is back as Art the Clown. Now, with this movie, and Damon Leone definitely gave us a final girl we can root for. she definitely has her problems because her father had passed away, that definitely affects her and her brother. They definitely are. It's affecting them in two different ways, I would say. But her dad was like a comic book artist of some kind, and he drew this photo of her as kind of like this Valkyrie character, and she's making this costume for, again, it's Halloween, for this Halloween party she's going to. And her brother is obsessed with Art the Clown, what you say? He's obsessed with serial killers and
Yeah.
Art the Clown. And pretty soon, well, we see Art the Clown's resurrection at the morgue. We see what happens to the morgue attendant. He gets killed brutally. And then Art's back on the loose. But he has this little girl demon with him
Oh yeah.
that
little thing.
not everybody can see.
Mm-hmm.
And they're off, and Art's off on his rampage once again, just gleefully killing people whenever he finds them, wherever he finds them. Art doesn't discriminate. Whoever's around, he'll take a knife to him or something worse to him. But this is where Damon Leone gets to shine with the characterization. We really do. I think Lauren Rivera is a great final girl here as Sienna, and I like her brother, and even the mom. I think they have a nice little family unit, and you get a sense of like the damage that has been done by the passing of the father. It's definitely straining this family. But now you're throwing Art into the mix, and Art is setting his sights on the family and Sienna, and mayhem ensues, as you know. We also get some really cool. We get a cool cameo. There's a scene at a Halloween store that Troy liked. Sienna goes into a Halloween store for some pieces for her costume, and Art follows her, and freaking her out with, horn and whatnot. Oh, I'm gonna be Art for Halloween this year, so I'm gonna be stalking people in the yard as Art. So I got that horn just to give a little flavor. But there's a part where Art kills the Halloween store attendant, and this woman and her child walk up to the door, and the door's locked. Well, that woman who plays the mother in that scene is none other than Tamara Glynn, who was Sammy in Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. So yeah, we get a cool little cameo from Halloween 5 in that little brief scene. But then we get, I would say, a pretty brutal kill when Art shows up at Sienna's friend's house for trick-or-treating.
Which one?
Her friend, where he cuts her arm, breaks her arm off.
Is it the one where he just like keeps stabbing her?
Up in the bed.
Yeah, it's not what I thought. No, I didn't care for that scene. It wasn't like gory.
Troy is having short-term memory loss from last Saturday.
I felt like
It was very gory. What are you talking about? He rips half her face off.
Oh, now I remember. All right, yeah.
Jesus,
A little
Christmas. This kid's killing me. Killing me. Killing me. If you have kids at home, you know what I'm talking about. I love him, but he's killing me slowly. Or fast. I don't know. It might be fast. So Art is off doing his thing, and he sets his sights on Sienna. And it's Halloween night yet again. Sienna goes out for the party, and Art goes to Sienna's house, kills the mother, kidnaps her brother, and our finale takes place at the Terrifier Halloween, this Terrifier haunted house, which they shot in Philadelphia, actually. The Terrifier haunted house was filmed at a real haunted attraction in Philly called the Fright Factory. So they shot that whole scene at the Fright Factory in Philly.
We should go there.
It's a little far to go to Philly for a haunted house, dude. We're going to Halloween Horror Nights. They're gonna have a Terrifier haunted house there. What do you want, man?
I want to go see the real thing.
But there is no haunted house there called Terrifier. That was all fake. I told you that. Yeah, the Terrifier facade for the haunted house is actually an effect. Damon Leone said he couldn't afford to build it, so they did it with, I think it's CGI actually.
Does not look CGI.
They couldn't afford to build it because I saw a tweet from him, or on X, a post on X from him, because Universal just built a similar facade for their haunted house. And he said, this is so cool because when we did it in part 2, we couldn't afford to build that. So I had to do it with an effect. So, yeah. So that's all an effect, the facade.
Real?
Yeah, it does look pretty good. It holds up. Considering the amount of money, I mean, he did a lot of work with just very little money. Again, on this film, Damien Leone wrote, directed, and he did a lot of makeup effects himself. He couldn't afford to hire a makeup effects team. So
I couldn't have told you that wasn't real.
well, I only knew it because I read about it. And our finale takes place in a haunted house. And this is where Sienna gets more of a hint of her powers. And she has this sword her dad gave her, which is pretty much a part of this character that her dad had drawn for, based on her, and she basically cuts Art's head off. But then at the end, we get the stinger where Art is reborn. The head of Art is reborn.
I'm a big fan of this sword powers thing. Not a fan.
I don't know what to tell you, folks. Are you a fan of this character? Are you a fan of these main characters they've introduced in part 2? Let me know in the chat. Okay, what was your favorite kill of part 2 then? Why don't we just jump in there?
I kind of forgot.
I think it's the girl in the bed. That goes on way long, but I like that kill.
Alright, I'll go with that one.
That's what you're going to go with? You're very indecisive this evening.
Mm-hmm.
Are you having a brain fart you can't remember, or what?
I don't know.
Maybe this is a lesson not to do 3 movies in one shot.
That's true.
Oh, God. Okay. Laura Laverna is a trained martial artist, so she did all of her own stunts during this film. That was super intense, Kurt, yeah. And Art's just going to town on this girl, and he's smiling.
No, I'm pretty sure this is part 2. I like the double barrel kill.
Oh, with her mom.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
One.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you that one. That's a cool one, too. Yeah, Kurt, that girl suffered big time. Bigly, she suffered. That scene just goes on and on and on. And she's even still I don't know if she's still alive or Art's doing something, because I don't know how she's still alive when her mom walks in the room and finds her. Even Troy said, he goes, there's no way she could still be alive. But Art seems to have, which we know more so in the third one, Art seems to have a little bit of powers, kind of.
Also, that little, girl that was with him, not a fan. Yeah, she just, disappears.
Yeah, Troy doesn't like that. Didn't like that little girl that followed him around, that little demon or whatever she is.
No point of her.
Well, you don't know, man. There could be answers afoot. You don't know. You don't know.
No point.
We don't know what part 4 has in store for us. We gotta wait till it comes out.
It's true.
When this got released in 2022, it was planned on just a 1-weekend release, but it did so well and it cracked the top 10 that it played right through Halloween, and that's how it ended up making $10.9 million in the U.S. So it was very, very successful, obviously. Little demon girls are the worst.
It was, scary. It's just, there's no point. No.
Yeah, Troy has a hard time of just stuff showing up and there's no explanation. He has a hard time with that. I didn't mind it. I think... Never ever again. Oh, The Ring. Yeah. Yep. I haven't seen that in forever, Kurt. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. I can't remember the last time I saw that movie.
Do you have it?
I have it on DVD. What do you mean, of course? What is that?
Buy it on Blu-ray, yeah, and then watch it.
Anything to spend my money, folks. Anything to spend my money. He just wants to spend money. I don't know.
I don't like watching movies on DVD.
Yes, I'm aware of that fact. You made it perfectly clear to me when we watched Texas Chainsaw 2 on DVD. I can't see nothing. I'm like, oh, I can see stuff. How can you not see anything?
It was a third of the screen.
That was just the aspect ratio, but the transfer was good enough. You could see what was going on. Well, when you have your own money, you can buy your own Blu-rays and 4Ks. Go ahead. I don't care. Whatever. We're not here to argue about Texas Chainsaw 2. We already did that. I'm still hearing about this, folks, because I made him watch Texas Chainsaw 2 on a DVD. God forbid. This kid didn't live through VHS, so he doesn't know what hell is.
I've seen a VHS before.
I know, but you didn't live through it, where that's all you got. That's the only way you could watch the movie. There was no other option back then. It was VHS or nothing.
I prefer VHS over DVD.
Get the frick out of here. He's talking out of his butt.
It's
chores, Troy. Yeah, exactly. He needs a flogging. That's what he needs. Jesus Christmas. Watch a VHS over a DVD.
I would much.
He doesn't understand, Kurt. He doesn't understand.
Well, see, here's the thing. At least my DVD doesn't.
Not all DVDs were like that. It was just that one.
Yeah, but that one hurt me.
I know it damaged him for life. I one movie damaged him for life. Now he doesn't want to even watch a DVD anymore. It was just the way the aspect ratio wasn't that one
I can
movie.
watch Tom and Jerry on DVD. I'm okay with
Or the
that.
Ghostbusters cartoons, or the Transformers.
Yeah, those are okay, but
I'm telling you, it was just that one movie. It was the aspect ratio. I get what you're saying. It was just the aspect ratio on that DVD. They're not all like that. I can prove it to you. Jesus. Okay, after that 5-minute argument, let's get back to Terrifier. All right, so what would you give Terrifier 2 out of 10?
not 8.5.
8.5. That's fair. Does he need a doll to show you where to hurt him? Yes, Kurt. He needs a doll holding a DVD, or a doll, yeah, whatever, and he can point and see where the DVD hurt him. The DVD hurt his soul, hurt it right down to his core, man. That's how bad it was. I can't believe we're still talking about this. God damn, I can't get away from it. I'm gonna hear this till Judgment Day. I'm gonna be on my deathbed. I'm gonna be hearing about you. Remember when you made me watch Texas Chainsaw 2 on that shitty DVD? I'll be like, yes, son, I do remember that. You're welcome. I would give it an 8 too, Kurt. That's what I was thinking too. 8 out of 10 for Terrifier 2. I like Terrifier 2. I mean, I think it's a little too long. I think there could be 10, 15 minutes shaved off of it, honestly, in my opinion.
No.
I don't think there's any reason for a slasher movie to be 2 hours and 18 minutes.
You don't know. The fourth one might be 3.
He said he wouldn't do it over 2 hours.
Not like 2:30.
No. But overall, I think it's a better movie. And obviously, I really like the final girl. I think it's a good character. I'm just going to switch this out as I'm talking. I think Sienna makes a great final girl. And I like her brother as a character. I like their dynamic. And I'm excited to see where Part 4 takes us.
What? Oh. You want me to talk to him?
Yeah, just tell him. Sorry, getting a phone call here from a friend. So just pardon me. Troy's taking the phone call. Because I can't. Somebody's got to right the ship here after that nonsense over that DVD. I'm sorry we're arguing over the goddamn DVD. I'm never going to hear the end of this. I swear. I'm going to be 90 on my deathbed. I'm going to be hearing about this DVD. I can still hit the shorter time I'm referring. Yeah. I hear you, Kurt. I hear you. I don't mind the gore as much, but I definitely make more noises when I watch it now than I used to. In my older years.
He wants you to call him back.
Okay. I know what it has to pertain of. I don't know. Yeah, the DVD chat's going to go on and on and on. It's going to be like every live stream we're going to hear about this goddamn DVD. I should pick a DVD movie just so we can watch it for a movie night. Just to stick it to them. I won't tell you. I'll already have it loaded in. I won't even tell you. We're just going to do it.
I will leave the room and I will go buy an Apple
No, you won't, because I'm going to strap you to a goddamn chair. You're going to be forced to watch it with your eyes open. It's going to be like goddamn Clockwork Orange in here. You don't know what that is because you haven't seen it yet, but... All right, so I think Terrifier 2 is a better movie. It's better made. Obviously, he had more money, so I could see where it has better production values. It's a bigger story. There's more locations, obviously, and that's due to they had a little bit more money. So, Damien Leone definitely spent the money wisely, and it's definitely a bigger film. Now, on to Terrifier 3. Coming off the success of Terrifier 2, Damien Leone was able to have a budget of $2 million for this one. So, Terrifier 3, I saw it opening night last year, October 11th of 2024.
Wait, when does the next one come out?
I don't know yet. They haven't released a date yet. It came out unrated, like the rest of them. Totally independent production again, although it was released through Cineverse, who's releasing the Silent Night, Deadly Night remake. I don't have that movie on DVD, Kurt. Silent Night remake comes out in December, which I'm excited about that. It looks pretty good, actually. The trailer, I'm excited about that. It should be pretty good. Had a $2 million budget, and upon release last year, it blew expectations through the roof. It made $53.9 million in America and $90.3 worldwide. So a ton of money made off this little franchise going out unrated, which studios don't touch unrated movies because it hinders your advertising and whatnot. So studios, big studios, don't make unrated films. They might release the movie unrated on physical media, but they typically do not release unrated movies to the theaters. Like even when Romero was releasing unrated movies back in the 70s and 80s, it was all independently released. There was no studio involved. And the same thing here. I mean, Cineverse released the movie, but Damien Leone got the money and made it himself. It was totally independent. Although with more money, he was able to hire makeup effects crew, and he had a bigger crew behind him, behind the camera. Where before it was just like him and like 3 or 4 other people. On this one, he had a couple dozen people be able to help him bring his vision to the screen. Now, back in this film, we got Lauren Rivera as Sienna. We got Elliot Fulham back as her brother Jonathan. David Howard Thornton is back as Art the Clown. And we got a plethora of cameos by recognizable horror actors and actors in general. We got Clint Howard showing up as Smokey in the bar scene, which we will definitely talk about that scene. We also got Daniel Roebuck, which me and Troy got to meet at the Carolina Fear Fest back in May. He plays Santa in the bar. We got Chris Jericho in here as an orderly. We got Tom Savini making an appearance, and we got Jason Patrick playing Sienna and Jonathan's father, and we get to see him in a flashback. Just to give us that father figure, get a sense of their relationship, and we definitely get that here in the brief flashbacks we do get. But what we do get right in the beginning of the film is Art's rebirth, as it were.
Yeah.
In a very gory scene where he kills Chris Jericho and that nurse, and then Art and the God, what's her name? Shoot, I forgot.
I don't know. The reporter. Yeah.
Victoria go to this basically rundown house, and she's in the tub and he's in this chair, and we fast forward about a year or two
5
later.
years.
5 years later. Sienna's in a mental institution. She's getting to go home and spend time with her uncle and her aunt and see her brother, who's off in college at this point. And she's trying to come to terms of what she went through during her first bout with Art, and coming to terms of what happened to her father and what her powers may or may not be. Art reanimates, kills a bunch of workers that are trying to, I think, demo the house, and they're to demo the house, right? Weren't they there to disconnect some stuff and get ready for demo? I think that's what they're there for. It's not really important to the plot. I'm just trying to be a stickler and try to think what the hell they were there for. But they get killed because Art reanimates, and so does Victoria. Mm-hmm. And they go to town on these guys, and Art is back in action. And probably I would say this movie is the goriest one out of the 3. I think so.
Yeah, it is.
And we kill some kids too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we see Art. That's right. We see Art going into that house in the beginning of the movie dressed as Santa Claus. Mm-hmm. We don't see him kill the kid, but we know.
Well, there is one kid you get to see. You see. But
yeah. But he kills that family, mm-hmm. and then the son. Although we don't see him kill the little girl, but we know he probably did.
Well, we know he killed his son.
Oh yeah, he definitely killed him. We see the aftermath. We don't see the act itself, but we see the aftermath, which I appreciate Damien Leone sparing us from seeing the act itself. I don't need to see a kid get killed on screen. I can see a lot of things get killed on screen, but not a kid. I prefer not to, if I don't have to. Although I, I love the scene in the bar where Art gets the Santa suit, We see Daniel Roebuck sitting at the bar dressed as Santa. We see Clint Howard there, and they're drinking, and Art comes in, and they're all laughing it up and drinking together. They think Art's just some guy off the street that wants to hang out. It's Christmas Eve, but pretty soon Art fucks him up.
Pulls a gun.
Pulls a gun. And then he fucks Santa up real bad and takes his suit. He freezes him. Remember, that's how he...
Yeah.
Yep. I like that scene a lot because, it has Clint Howard, Daniel Roebuck, which I like those two actors. And I think it's just a good scene, just the way it plays out. I think it's really fun. I think it's really gory, but it's a lot of fun. And then you get him at the mall, which, Kurt, I think that's what you're talking about. The mall where he plays Santa, he comes in and sits down, and the kids think he's Santa, and he gives them presents. And little do the kids know there's bombs inside.
What a fun present.
Which Art thinks is hilarious. And all you hear is explosions going off. Again, we don't see the kids get killed, but we know a bunch of kids got messed up. Yeah, safe to say the kids aren't going to be home for Christmas, unfortunately, in that scene.
I mean, they shouldn't go up to Santa Claus with the clown mask on, but, you know.
No, when I was a kid that age, I would not gone up to a Santa Claus if he was dressed like a clown. I'd be like, nope, because I didn't like clowns.
Oh, I know.
I didn't like clowns. Even though I had ceramic clowns in my bedroom, thank you, Mom. That freaked me the fuck out, and I couldn't sleep. True story. I made her take them out of my room. Couldn't handle it.
You didn't throw them out the window? You should have.
Well, come on. I was given it by somebody. I couldn't just throw it out the window. But I couldn't sleep with those damn clowns in the room. Freaked me out. Now I don't care. Clowns don't bother me, but back then they bothered me. Would you want a clown in your room?
Not really.
Okay, well then, shut your pie hole, man.
But I also would be able to sleep.
This kid. And then we get probably, well, not the most gruesome scene, but it goes on. The shower scene.
That's not the most gruesome.
No, but it goes on and on and on.
It's not the most gruesome.
I don't think it's the most gruesome. I think at the end when he has him strapped to the chair. Remember the rat scene? It's a toss-up. There's a couple bangers in this one. But the shower scene at the college, that guy and the girl in the shower, and Art comes in with the chainsaw. I mean, he just goes to town on these two kids. It just goes on. I remember seeing this when I saw it in the theater. I'm sitting there in this packed theater. It's opening night. Not a seat left in the whole theater. It was packed. A huge theater was packed. And everybody was into it. But the scene just kept going and going and going. And I'm like, okay, is this going to end sometime soon? It just kept going and going and going. I was like, okay, he's just going to let it ride. And he did. Damien Leone let it ride. And that scene is a cool scene, but it is definitely graphic. It's definitely graphic. Yeah, get that
Kid friendly.
Yeah, well, yeah. We're going to play on Sesame Street. Big Bird can present it. And then pretty much at the end, we have Sienna has to save her niece and her aunt, although unfortunately the aunt gets really messed up. She gets the rat inside of her. In a very disturbing, fucked up scene. Although I did see something similar to that in another movie. I can't remember what that movie was, but
Isn't like the one kill in like one of the Saw movies kind of like that?
maybe one of the later ones. I don't know.
But like where he like sucks out their eyes with the tubes.
Oh, you're thinking about Saw X,
Yeah.
the one you didn't finish watching. Yeah, Trace got up and just left the room. He didn't finish watching Saw X.
I think I can watch it now.
Yeah, I think you'll be fine now. And then Sienna is able to use her power. She can't save her niece, unfortunately, but she does. She kicks Art's ass, which he deserved it. Let's be honest; he's been kind of a dick this whole time, and now it's basically she has to find her niece because that's how the movie ends.
Mm-hmm.
And that is basically Terrifier 3. Okay, Kurt. I didn't. Man, I did see that. But I also know. Have you ever seen Graveyard Shift? Brad Dourif tells that story. In like his time in Vietnam, and he described what they used to do with this rat. putting a flaming rice ball over it to drive the rat inside this wound they made on the prisoner, so it would climb inside and go up and attack the person's heart. And I always remember that kind of reminded me of that when art does that. It reminded me of Brad Dourif's monologue in Graveyard Shift, because that monologue always stuck with me about that. You don't see anything, but just him describing it is, enough to make you think a little bit.
I kind of forgot about that. Actually, I don't even remember that.
What, the rat?
No, like when he talks about that.
Oh, that's right. You watched Graveyard Shift with me. It's when they're in the basement. He goes down and he just starts talking to the guys running that machine. And he just starts saying about, the rats and what he saw in Vietnam. And he just kind of gives this monologue. He goes on about how the Viet Cong would torture their prisoners. I mean, he goes into graphic detail what they did. And it's a great monologue by Brad Dourif, which, it's Brad Dourif, so he's always awesome. But he's awesome in that scene as well. Now, a little trivia, and I'm going to ask Troy about his favorite kill. So think in your head what your favorite kill is. Damon Leone had been approached after the success of Part 2. He was approached by some big studios to do the third one, but he turned them all down because he knew he wouldn't be able to do it unrated, and there would probably be conditions. So he turned them all down, and he did this totally independent on his own. I mean, he had a bigger crew, but he didn't want to do it with the studio. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Kurt. Yep. So, Troy, what was your favorite kill in Terrifier 3?
That's a good question. I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I'm trying to think. I think probably the one where they shove the rats down a tube.
So at the end when they have the ant strapped to the chair, that's your favorite?
Just like they did it really well.
Yeah, it was really well done. I would say the shower kill is probably my favorite. I just liked a good shower kill.
Like that didn't go as long as I thought it would.
I think the shower kill is my favorite. That'd probably be my favorite. Now with this movie, he said he was more going for a more like a John Carpenter vibe. And I could see that here. I could definitely see that here. I love the score to these movies, very synth, obviously. But this looks really good, the third one. I think it looks the best out of the three movies. And I think it's just due to the fact that he had enough money to do it. Even with the second one, I think the second one looks better than the first one, but still, they only had $250,000, and he was trying to pull off of a lot of stuff on that $250,000 budget. So I think with $2 million budget, and I'm sure he was stretched thin to the end with all the gore effects and all that stuff, but I think this is the best looking movie and the best put together movie out of the three movies. And honestly, this is my favorite one out of the three. I think this is the best one overall, best film of the three films.
Is this the first franchise thing that you liked the last one out of all of them?
Well, I like Friday the 13th Part 4 better than any of the other ones.
Well, normally you like the first one, so.
Well, usually the first one is the classic, like Halloween. Halloween 1 is the best one out of that franchise, but I don't know. Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one is my favorite, but I like the third one and New Nightmare. It just depends on the franchise. Sometimes it's not true. Sometimes the sequel's better.
I think
even though I love Terminator, I think T2 is a better movie. So, there's always room for a sequel to be better. It doesn't happen often, but it happens.
Well,
I think Empire Strikes Back's better than the first Star Wars, and I love them both, but I think Empire Strikes Back's better. That's the sequel. So.
Well, it's just kind of weird how you like the second one more than the first one.
I just think they've gotten better as they gone along. Don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Because what would you rate the third one?
9.5.
So yeah, this is your favorite out of the three, obviously.
Well, I don't really normally like the first movie out of things, so.
You don't like the what?
But normally I don't really care for the first
movie.
Yeah, like I don't like the first I mean, it's good, but like not my favorite.
Oh my God, he's gonna give me a stroke here, guys. He's gonna give me a stroke. Call the meat wagon. I'm gonna have a stroke here. Texas Chainsaw 1. All right, you gotta stop talking. Oh my God. Are you feeling okay?
Just not gory. Not.
I told you, gore is not what makes a movie great.
Well,
I told you can't expect the
that makes
levels
it
of
more
gore
fun.
you've. Yeah, but you can't expect the levels of gore you've seen in these three films and other films I'm going to show you. It's just not possible. It's just not going to happen. You can't. You got to take it off the table. That's why I was also hesitant about showing you these films, because it's going to spoil you on the gore factor. You can't expect every movie to be a bloodbath like these are.
Well, I'm just hoping the new Texas Chainsaw when that happens.
Well, there's not a new Texas Chainsaw yet, though. So yeah, I would give this one a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 for Terrifier 3. I like this franchise. I've watched each film a couple times now, and the third one's still my favorite. I think it's the best film out of the three. I'm excited for the fourth one, to see where they take it. So we'll see. I don't know if they even started filming it yet, honestly, because they've been doing a lot of horror conventions left and right. I mean, I always see them every weekend at a horror convention, so I don't know if they're even filming part 4 yet. I know Damien Leone said I think he's finished the script, but I don't know if they even started filming it yet. They might be filming it maybe on weekend or during the week. Maybe we'll see it next year. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I am a fan of the Terrifier franchise. I'm late to the party on it. I know there was other people to the party before I was, and I appreciate, my buddy Charlie got me into it, talked me into watching it, and I'm glad I did. So here we are. We did all 3 Terrifier films. It was a little rough. I think we tried to do too many movies in one stream, but, we made a choice. It won't happen again. Oh, you don't like the supernatural? Yeah, there's definitely more supernatural stuff in this one. I think we're supposed to get, Damien Leone said we're supposed to get some answers in the fourth one. So what art is, I guess we'll find out. And
Yeah, that's what I'm curious.
Troy's definitely very curious about that. He wants to know what's going on. Now, it's middle of August. We are getting close to September. We're going away for a week in September. We're going to Orlando. We're going to Universal Studios.
Hey, Charlie.
And we're going to do a stream before we leave. So it's my pick next month. And we're going to stay in the same neighborhood as Terrifier, but
Oh, this is the same?
not as gory, Troy. But definitely has a Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibe. And it's Rob Zombie's first movie. For September's Horror Talk Live, we're going to talk about House of a Thousand Corpses. There we go. Right between me and Troy. Yes, House of a Thousand Corpses is our movie for next month. Troy's never seen it. I've seen it many times. I saw this in the theaters back when it was released. I'm excited to watch this with Troy. But yeah, Rob Zombie's first theatrical film. We are going to talk about House of a Thousand Corpses next month on Horror Talk Live. I'll release a date for that within the next couple weeks. We're going to do it before we go to Orlando. So it's going to be in the front part of November on a Friday night. I just don't know which Friday yet. I just got to look at the calendar and see what's going on. But yes, so join us here next month on Hard Talk Live. We're going to go in deep on Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses. This is a fun one. I'm excited to talk about that one. And I hope you all have a great weekend. I want to thank you all for joining us. And do me a favor, hit the thumbs up again. I would appreciate that. But that is it for this stream. Have yourselves a great weekend. And until next time, bye.
Have you talked to Mommy about this one?
Yeah, this one's fine.